ORRIONA. Book 1, Legacy. Chapter 14, Scavengers. Part 2, Meyn.
Is the Warden dead?
Let's hope not. He's our only hope, you dumb vacker.
The long hunt ends today.
Will you shut up for once, Lolo? Oh, tired of hearing about the damn long hunt.
Completing the long hunt is a privilege.
Guys, we're the first in thousands of years to be killed by a Siscoth. Crazy.
Shut up, Tank!
That ain't Tank, remember? It's Channy.
Chandler.
No shield left to spend. No ground left to give. Meyn leaned against the scroll tube at his spine, and he did the only math that was left to him. His palm settled against a torn seam in the deck plating. He pressed his hand flat against it. An old habit. A last one, maybe. Power rose from the deck plating beneath his boots. A current of energy that was not his own. The ship. The freighter woke with ancient consciousness stirring in response to his need. Energy fed into his armor. The suit's interface, bleeding power moments before, blazed back to full capacity. His damage indicators reset.
Last of the Wardens, last of us. Take what remains.
It would not let its last Warden fall. Even as the ship sustained him, the Siscoth's barrage hammered his position without pause. Deck plates bubbled and warped, superheated metal morphing like wax under flame. No Axrathan had faced this ancient foe in 14,000 years. Not until the assault on the diplomatic fleet yesterday. Yet his wardenhood training met ancestral memories embedded in the biometal, feeding him what he needed. Angles of attack, vulnerable points, how they compensated for momentum shifts. His brothers had faced this threat. Now his turn had come. The Siscoth advanced, remnants of its stealth camouflage dispersing, revealing its full armor. A deployment drone detached from its back and shot forward, releasing mirror panels as it flew. The reflective discs struck walls and ceiling with crude adhesive, forming a lattice of ricochet points throughout the docking port's corridor. Meyn's dagger tore through the air. Chandler's shot followed a heartbeat later. The drone exploded in a burst of sparks and shrapnel, but the killing field had already been established. The shoulder cannon fired. Energy bolts struck the reflective surfaces and fragmented into new angles, turning the entire space into a kill zone. One redirected shot punched through the older Scavenger's chest. He collapsed, smoke rising from cauterized flesh. Chandler's hand went to his helmet comm.
Open the hatch or you don't get your loot.
Through a viewport, the Scavenger's ship hung in the void, still close enough to board. But the Siscoth dominated the space between them and escape. Chandler's voice cut through again, directed at Meyn and the group this time.
They won't open it until we deal with this bastard.
Meyn understood the calculation. On my mark, fire all together behind your panels. The authority in Meyn's voice pulled the three survivors into action. Now. Chandler rolled left, borrowed armor grinding against deck plating. The scarred human pressed his shoulder against the rightmost panel, medical tubing swaying, weapon aligned. Lolo dropped to one knee, the chair's massive frame anchoring their formation as his thermal rifle steadied. Their weapons fired in unison, no hesitation, no questions. Energy rounds tore through recycled air, forcing the Siscoth to adjust. The coordinated response caught even the Scavengers off guard, but those seconds of covering fire gave Meyn his opening. The first dagger's strike tore through reflector arrays, sending mirrored fragments spinning through failing gravity. Sharp-edged crystals caught the light. He drove the second strike at the Sukolth's heart, but the insectoid twisted aside, not fast enough. The dimensional blades carved through its shoulder-mounted weapon. Electrical arcs erupted across the dying cannon. The Sukolth's multifaceted eyes blazed as its arm shot forward, releasing a segmented cylinder that separated mid-flight. The device anchored to a fallen support beam and expanded into an auto turret, tracking heat signatures. Weapons fire illuminated decorated armor. The mark of planetary dominion gleamed there. This was a Sukolth battle general, an elite unit from the Hive's specialized cadre. Enhanced cognition matching enhanced aggression.
No.
Chandler's shield collapsed. Energy overload hurled him backward toward the corridor's open center. Meyn's arm shot out and caught him, yanking him clear of the auto turret's direct line of fire. Chandler twisted in Meyn's grip, weapon already tracking. He used the momentum spinning to aim. The shot found a gap where armor plates overlapped. Chitinous fragments exploded outward. Meyn released Chandler and cast his first dagger into its mark. It passed through the auto turret's housing, reality bending around the blade as it split the weapon into useless pieces.
They're gonna leave us if we don't get to that hatch.
The other human shouted. Meyn launched forward. The Chera matched him stride for stride, thermal rifle dropping from Lolo's hands as the massive alien understood what Meyn intended. Chandler followed, weapon tracking the Sukolth as they closed the distance. The battle general met them head-on. Meyn struck first, probing. His dimensional dagger cut toward the warrior's chest and bounced, skittering across the armor's surface. The ancestral memories in the biometal verified what he already knew. This unit had enhanced plating, dimensional resistance, peak combat evolution. The Sukolth's arm swept out. Meyn ducked under the strike, but Chandler caught it full in the chest. The impact lifted the human off his feet and hurled him back down the corridor. His armor sparked where it hit the deck. The helmet split down the middle, the upper half peeling away to expose Chandler's face from the nose up. The human's hands went to his collar, fingers working the emergency seals as his suit's compromised system vented atmosphere. Lolo roared and grabbed for the warrior's remaining arm. For a moment, the Chera's strength matched the insectoid's, muscle and mass against alien augmentation. Then the Sukolth pivoted, using Lolo's own momentum. The throw sent the Chera careening into the corridor wall with enough force to dent the reinforced plating. Meyn found himself alone. The battle general turned, its remaining weapon systems charging. Multifaceted eyes locked onto him. Behind the warrior, the hatch began to roll open. The grinding of salvaged mechanics echoing through the corridor. 2 security bots pushed through first. Their chassis covered in jury-rigged armor and retrofit weapons. Their targeting systems sparked erratically, more junk than threat, but their unpredictable movements drew the Sukolth's attention. 2 towering figures stepped out behind them, mobile deflector shields bathing everything in harsh green light. Crude barriers powered by salvage generators, effective through raw energy output alone.
Move it, you backers! Get inside!
Come on, let's go, you heard him.
The scarred human bolted. Medical tubing trailing, he ducked behind the left shield and vanished into the Scavengers' ship. Lolo! Meyn's shout carried over the weapons fire. The Chera pushed off the wall until his massive hands clamped onto the battle general's left arm. Meyn punched higher near the joint where chitin met whatever alien musculature powered the limb. Chitin cracked, flesh tore, the arm separated with a wet snap. The warrior's leg shot out. The kick caught Meyn in the ribs and launched him backward. He hit the deck hard, sliding across scorched metal until he collided next to Chandler's prone form.
You alright, handsome?
Lolo stumbled, the severed limb still clutched in his hands. The weight of the loot strapped across his back, pulling him off balance. The Chero recovered and lumbered upright. A voice from inside the hatch called to him,
Lolo, that's not Tank, let's go!
The security bots began their retreat, jerking backward. Shield bearers shifted, angling toward the ship.
Warden finishes fight. Lolo gets ship ready.
Lolo tossed the arm and disappeared through the hatch.
It's gotta be now or never, Warden.
Chandler's voice came through his breathing mask, distorted but clear. Each grabbed the other, hauling themselves upright. Chandler's gaze swept the corridor and locked onto Lolo's thermal rifle, abandoned in the chaos lying against the scorched deck. He lunged for it, fingers working the controls as he brought it up. The weapon's power cell whined as he switched it to maximum output. The first shot caught the Sokolth center mass. Energy erupted across its damaged armor, forcing the warrior back a step. Chandler fired again. His second shot struck higher, scorching the battle general's chest plating. Its power cell overloaded, rendering the rifle useless. Locked onto Chandler, the battle general roared and charged, not at Meyn, but at the human who had dared to strike it. Impact slammed Chandler against the wall. A remaining limb pressed against his throat, crushing the breathing mask. Chandler's hands clawed at chitinous armor, his face exposed to recycled air that his compromised suit could no longer filter. An open hatch, clear path. Meyn could run. He moved toward Chandler instead. The wristlets pulsed, his daggers materialized, dimensional energy coalescing into solid form in each hand. He closed the distance in 3 strides and drove one upward under the battle general's lowered head, into the exposed joint where neck met thorax. The blade bit deep. The Sokolth's roar transformed into something wet and broken. Its limb released. It stumbled backward, ichor pouring from the wound. Near the hatch, one of the retreating security bots stuttered mid-withdrawal, its damaged optics tracking the fight. It read the opening for what it was. The bot reversed course chassis sparking and closed on Chandler in 3 lurching strides. Mechanical arms clamped onto his shoulders and hauled him backward.
Warden!
Chandler twisted against the bot's grip, one arm thrown out toward him.
Hurry!
Meyn ran. The hatch opening narrowed with each stride. He dove forward. Metal shrieked against metal as the hatch sealed. The edge caught his shoulder, spinning him back into the corridor. He hit the deck and rolled, coming up in a crouch. Silence. Through the docking port's reinforced viewing panel, Meyn watched as Chandler stumbled into the scavenger vessel's interior. The young man paused, then deliberately removed what was left of his cracked helmet, revealing a face streaked with sweat and blood. He moved closer as if to help Meyn into the vessel, then realized the hatch had already sealed. Their eyes met through the clear viewing window, drifter brown meeting Axrathan gold across the impossible divide. Chandler's expression carried a mixture of regret and profound gratitude, emotions too complex for words. Slowly, deliberately, he raised his hand in a crisp salute. Not the mocking triumph of a thief, but the respectful acknowledgement of a warrior. The engines roared to life. Vibrations rippled through the deck plates as the scavenger vessel began to pull away, abandoning Meyn, leaving him to die among the wreckage. A bitter thought surfaced, how easily he could end this. His wristlets pulsed with energy as the Tesseract daggers began to manifest, golden light bleeding through dimensional barriers. One strike. The ship's hull would part like fabric, venting atmosphere and lives into the void. These raiders who had taken Axrathan relics, who now left him behind after he had saved their lives. Through the viewport, Chandler's eyes widened slightly, recognizing the deadly radiance gathering around Meyn's hands. But that was not who the Axrathans were, not who Nienna had raised him to be. The daggers faded back into dimensional stasis, their light dimming as Meyn's hands unclenched. Chandler's expression shifted, surprise giving way to something deeper, gratitude, respect. The scavenger vessel pulled away, taking with it his only means of escape. Chandler's figure receded into shadow and distance, but not before Meyn saw him place his hand against the viewport, a final gesture of acknowledgement for the mercy he had just witnessed. The Shakolth struck with the force of a dying star. The impact drove them both backward as the deck beneath their feet gave way. They plummeted through 3 levels of the dying ship, tearing through bulkheads and support beams. Metal wailed as they fell, each impact jarring Meyn's bones. The scroll tube broke free from its strap, tumbling alongside them. The battle general hit bottom first, its body impaled on a jagged projection of hull plating. Meyn crashed down beside his primordial enemy. The ship's failing gravity pulled at him inconsistently, as unreliable as everything else aboard the dying vessel. White hot pain erupted in his side where metal had torn through his armor. His hand moved to the wound blood pulsing hot between his fingers. The scroll tube landed nearby, unbroken despite the violent descent. The biometal chest strapped to his thigh had shifted, its edges pressing into his leg through the armor. Beneath his chest plate, Nienna's letter and brooch remained secure against his heart, the physical weight of her final trust. Above him, space yawned through the massive breach in the hull. Weak emergency force fields held back the void, pale energy barriers blurring starlight into eerie, undulating patterns. Through that torn ceiling, Meyn watched the Scavengers' ship grow smaller against the blackness. Its engines burned bright, carrying away Axrathan heritage that would soon be traded, in shadow markets or hidden in private collections. With each second, the vessel shrank further, taking with it his final chance of escape, his salvation diminishing to a point of light, no brighter than any distant star. Alone, abandoned, he pressed his hand harder against his side, felt blood seep between his fingers. With his free hand, he dragged the scroll tube closer, cradling it against his chest. 2 decks above, the medical bay waited. He could reach it, perhaps use the automated systems to extend his life by hours. But with the quantum core approaching catastrophic failure, the entire vessel destined to become nothing but fragments. Such effort held no meaning. Not in defeat, but in acceptance, he closed his eyes. He would face the end the same way Nienna had faced hers, not with fear, but with the dignified calm of one who understood that some cycles must complete themselves. This was always how it would end, alone with the dead around him. 20 years of service, 20 years as her shadow, her shield, her silent guardian, yet it would always return to this. The ship shuddered around him, not in its final collapse, but in stubborn defiance, channeling its last reserves to hold the space intact, to keep him tethered to life just a moment longer. He could feel his own life ebbing with each labored breath, even as the dying vessel poured what remained of itself into him. Above, the emergency energy field flickered and strained, the ship's fading heart fighting to maintain the barrier between him and the eternal dark. It would be peaceful, he thought, to drift among the stars as Nienna now did, to join her in whatever realm awaited beyond the veil. Then, unbidden, a memory surfaced, sharp and urgent, cutting through his surrender. Nienna's final message, not her spoken command, but the encrypted transmission she'd sent just before the attack. She had been preparing for this moment long before the Shkolth struck. A signal aimed at a single recipient. Oriona. Nienna would not have called for just anyone, not to protect what she valued most, not to rescue someone she had considered. His thoughts stilled. Her son. His eyes opened, and with them something deep awoke. He reached across the deck plating, his muscles screamed, his vision blurred. The scroll tube pressed against his ribs as he shifted his weight, rolling onto his side. The Shkolth's corpse lay an arm's length away, still impaled on jagged metal. Above them, the stars no longer beckoned with the promise of rest. They glittered with challenge, with distance, with everything he still owed her. He was not meant to die here alone and forgotten. His other hand found a twisted beam and he pulled. Agony tore through him. He pulled again. The medical bay was 2 decks up. He kept climbing,